Today I want to share with you an insect that I recently identified. I found it hanging out on some goldenrod flowers this year, and I didn't know if it was a pest or if it was beneficial or what the deal was, and so I want to share what I found with you. So I'm talking about the Locust Borer, or Megasilene robinii. It's pretty colorful with contrasting colors of black and gold. It has that W shape of gold on its back, and as a whole it kind of looks like an insect that might sting, like a wasp or a bee or a hornet, those types of things. And I think the idea there is probably that so that it can deter other insects or animal species from preying upon the adult insects, the adult borers. Now, in the late summer, early fall, when the goldenrod is in flower, we can find these borers actually hanging out on the flowers because the adults actually go after the pollen. A lot of goldenrod species are native to North America. The black locust is native to America, and this locust borer is actually native to North America as well. So what types of species will the locust borer go after? Well, this species is actually more of a specialist species. As far as we know, it only goes after the black locust tree. Even as far as we can tell, the honey locust tree is not negatively affected by the locust borer. So this is an insect that's only going to go after the black locust tree. And it's not going to do any harm to the goldenrod or anything like that, because it's just eating some of the pollen in its when the insect is in its adult stage. So we can look at, there's probably a balance between the locust borer, the goldenrod, and the black locust, along with probably some other native naturally occurring predators that may help to keep this black locust borer in place, right, and in check. And this black locust borer is probably an important food source, or a valuable food source for different predators, right? And not a whole lot is known on all the different kinds of predators that may actually go after this insect, but that's where continued observation and experience can really come into play. We can talk about citizen science and things of that nature. But we do know that various bird species will actually go after the larval stage of the locust borer, especially woodpeckers, right? Like the downy and the hairy woodpecker. These are two bird species that can be seen drilling into black locust trees, their dying or dead limbs, to actually pick out the larva of these borers. So it can be a really good seasonal natural food source for birds. Now, if we are growing a lot of black locust trees, it's really important to make sure that we are keeping the landscape in a more balanced state, right? We don't want to have a monoculture of black locust, because then that's going to disrupt these naturally occurring relationships, right? And if we have a lot of black locust trees, then we're going to have a lot of these borers. And so it's important to really diversify the landscape and let the landscape be kind of what it is, to a point of what it's naturally, natively designed to be, to keep these different aspects in balance. So we can actually plant a variety of tree species, and that can actually help to diversify the landscape, create more of a polyculture type thing, where rates of locust borer damage on the black locust trees may actually be lessened, right, because of that greater diversity. Because when we have more diversity, on some level it may confuse some of these pests, right? It may make them less effective at invading or predominating over a landscape that has the black locust, but it can also offer a more diversified habitat for more of the predators, right? And some of the other potentially yet to be identified predators as well, right? And it gives them space to play their part in the balance of these black locust borers. So thank you so much for checking out this video on the locust borer. It's a pretty neat insect. It's very colorful, very beautiful, and now we know that outside of black locust trees, these insects are really not a pest at all, especially when we're talking about garden crops. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.